making a $50,000 budget drift car challenge in Forza Horizon 5. We will be making this GT86 go from this to a drift missile. I've managed to pick up this GT86 for 16,000 credits, which is an absolute steal in my opinion, and we're going to turn this into our budget drift car. Let's begin upgrading this car. We're going to have to find the right pieces just to be able to make this car a budget drift car, which is going to be relatively hard, I think. Let's grab a single turbo just to increase the power outage. I might be on a budget, but I am a sucker for a Rocket Bunny body kit. Now I am actually going to upgrade the turbo to a race turbo as the power on this car isn't great from stock. Let's grab a race engine block as well. Let's go some race brakes as well so we can get brake tuning. I'm going to change the springs and dampers, get a low ride and put those drift springs on. I'm going to reduce the weight just so we can get some power to weight ratio with this car as it doesn't make a lot of horsepower. I'm going to take the 4-speed drift transmission. I'm a bit hesitant on this one, but we'll see how it turns out. I think I'm going to grab a street clutch here just to increase the shifting speed. Now I'm going to run the street tire compound as all the other tires are fairly expensive and out of my price range. I'm going to run 225s in the front and 235s in the rear. Now I want to change the rims because the stock rims look absolutely grim, but we are now over the budget. So let's get rid of those brakes because who needs brakes anyway? Our total is now 33,750 credits plus our 16k for buying the car, which means we are still under the budget. Now for the final touches to get the car painted and looking good, and then we can take it out and try and beat some drift records. Let's see how this car handles on the road, as really I need to try and get the tuning right for this car to actually be any good, but you know what? The drifting on it isn't too bad for the budget car so far. Now for any of you wondering, this is what the car kind of finally looks like. I do kind of regret the bright green calipers though. Now I'm actually going to tune this car as much as I can to try and get it as best as possible to try and compete with some of these higher class cars on this drift run we're about to take. Let's head over to the longest drift run in the game and see if we can beat the 500k score. Here we go, our first attempt at doing this drift course. Let's see if we can beat the 500k score. Already I've kind of struggled with that first section. I may need to increase the gearing so we can kind of get a bit more speed through those, but I mean it's not too bad. I have a feeling already that we might actually beat this challenge, and we still got 3.4 miles to go. We're coming up on that 200k mark, now coming up to that 300. I mean this car handles so well for an A-class car. For a budget car that we've turned into an A-class car, I'm actually very surprised. I'm not even that great at tuning drift cars myself. There is no possible way that I actually can't get 500k on this run, as already we're at 400k and we've just got 2.3 miles to go. We've got some drifty boys coming up the hill here. We've already beat that 500k score, and there's another one there as well. Oh, a little wall tap there. That's not too bad. It's safe to say we've definitely smashed out the score on this zone. I can't believe how well this car's handling. The gearing has been pretty good on it. I mean, I feel like I need to play around with the gears a bit more just to make it a bit more consistent. I mean, on these corners, sometimes I need more power, but maybe I should use third gear instead of fourth. Coming up on the last couple of corners here, we're almost at 950k, which would be absolutely insane. There's no way we're hitting that 1 million around these last few corners, especially with those angles, but I'll take a nice 971,000 score. I've tried quite a few times to beat that previous score, and it hasn't quite happened yet. We've come very close, but I've changed the tuning, and already it doesn't seem to be going very well, but let's see how well we can get this run going. So after a terrible start on those first few corners, we've managed to pull it back a bit and gain some score. This car handles very nicely on those wider corners, but not so great on the straights. The 200k mark has been reached. I believe I reached this somewhere around this point last time. These corners are where this car flies. You know, this thing absolutely handles so well. It's just these straights that kill it. I'm not sure I'm actually going to beat the scores. I've had a few mess ups this run and it isn't looking particularly great, especially when I do things like that. However, for a budget drift car, I can't really complain. It has been doing super well and has managed to smash the score easily. I highly recommend you guys try this yourself. Get a car, give yourself a budget, and see if you can create the ultimate drift car. Now, this run has been nowhere near as good as my previous runs, and I feel like with the amount of mistakes I've made, I've probably blown my chance at beating the score. Although if I didn't quite make as many mistakes as I did on this run, I probably could have actually maybe hit that 1 million score. Coming up to the last corner, what can we do with this? I've absolutely messed that up. Yep, I've lost myself a bunch of score there, but we'll take 965k. For a budget drift car, I cannot complain. This car has been absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below if you want to see any more Forza Horizon 5 videos, as this is my first one.